This is the Resilient Advisor Podcast, the show for high-performing financial advisors. We bring you the best practices of the industry's top performers so that you can build resilience in your business and your personal life. Here is your host, Jay Coulter.
Thanks for downloading this episode, the very first episode of the Resilient Advisor Podcast. My name is Jay Coulter. The Resilient Advisor Podcast and platform is a combination of two of my passions. First, the business of being a world-class financial advisor, where I serve advisors as an industry consultant. And the second is the psychology behind building mental resilience in both business and personal lives. Over my 20-year career in this business, I have consulted and worked with all types of professionals. From trainees to corner office producers, I've started an RIA, I've consulted with Barron's 100 RIAs. From breakaway advisors to high-performing teams inside of the wirehouses, I have a comprehensive look at our business, and our business is complex. As a result, it's very easy for me to see, from my seat as a consultant, all of the commonalities of both success and failure in this industry. And on this podcast, my goal is to bring you the very best ideas, strategies, solutions, and thought leaders that are helping advisors build resilience in their business and personal lives today. Now, this is not just a business podcast. I believe that today's financial advisors are under an extreme amount of personal stress as a result of working in this complex and changing industry. And stress at work leads to stress in our personal lives. It's an epidemic. Extreme personal stress can lead to ruined relationships, businesses, careers, and marriages. Too many hardworking, well-meaning financial advisors are leading lives of perpetual stress, and they're miserable. I know because I've lived it, I've seen others struggle with it, and I've consulted with and helped advisors who are struggling. In fact, I've written a book about the problem called Conquer Worry that has been sold all over the world. Listen to these statistics on stress. The American Psychological Association tells us that 77% of people struggle with the physical symptoms of stress, and 73% struggle with the psychological associations associated with a life lived under perpetual stress. In fact, the number one cause of stress is job pressure. And there are very few careers that carry more stress and have more job pressure than that of a financial advisor. And this podcast hopes to provide you with some solutions if you are struggling, in addition to great business building content. So, the content of this podcast will be focused specifically on helping financial advisors. There will be several formats. First, they'll be short, less than 20 minutes. I've learned from experience on my other podcast that shorter podcasts that get right to the point just tend to deliver better results. Secondly, I'm going to interview professionals from our industry, service providers that can make a difference in your business. I've already been pre-recording some shows, and I think you're going to like the guests. Some podcasts will simply be a product or a book review where I deconstruct the product that is specific to the financial services industry or book and outline the pros and cons. And lastly, experience has taught me that the occasional inspirational story is a popular addition to a regularly produced podcast. Now, I have been podcasting for the past 4 years on another platform. I've had episodes downloaded in over 90 countries. I've interviewed world-class Olympians, national champion football coaches, NFL players, the heads of Ivy League institutions, and other people who are making a difference in the lives of others. I love doing it. My goal for the Resilient Advisor Podcast is to deliver the same high-quality content, but focus specifically on the financial advisor community. So you can sign up for email updates on my website, jaycoulter.com. That's JAYCOULTER.com. I'd also love to have you in our LinkedIn group, predictably called The Resilient Advisor. And I can be found on Twitter at J_Coulter. That's JAY_COULTER.